President Joe Biden spoke before world leaders this week and criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin and his 7-month-long invasion of Ukraine. At the same General Assembly, Ukraine's president calling for more than just punishment against Russia. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, wide-scale protests in Russia against the war in Ukraine and a planned partial draft. More than 1,400 protesters arrested after taking to the streets in 38 cities. Young men chanting, "I don't want to die," for Putin. Others flooding Russian airports, flights out of the country completely booked for days. The tumult following Russian President Vladimir Putin's first speech to his nation since the invasion of Ukraine, announcing he's calling up 300,000 reservists and other men with military experience to swell the ranks of the Russian military.
Up until now, the war in Ukraine has not affected the individual Russian citizen. It's been the Russian military goes to war and the Russian citizen goes to the mall. But this changes everything. Putin is asking a lot of the individual Russian person.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian troops continue pressing the attack, working to liberate regions in the country's east from Russian control. The Kremlin now planning to stage referendums starting Friday in the cities and towns it still controls, beginning the process of absorbing those regions into Russia. And in his speech, the Russian president raising the possibility of using nuclear weapons. President Biden condemning Putin at the United Nations yesterday.
President Putin has made overt nuclear threats against Europe. Russia's calling up more soldiers to join the fight. And the Kremlin is organizing a sham referenda to try to annex parts of Ukraine. This world should see these outrageous acts for what they are.
All of this after some good news out of Ukraine. In a prisoner swap, Russia freed 215 Ukrainian prisoners of war, including 2 Americans, Alex Drueke and Andy Huynh, who were captured fighting alongside the Ukrainian military. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.